And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth. Centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, over 80 show categories now with the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we all want to educate, entertain, enlighten, and engage. But most importantly, we want to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now I want you to pull out your smartphone, save our Consumer Advocate Hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
670-REQB is our hotline. Reach out. Don't forget our number. Bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you there. Click on the contact form and you could submit an email directly to me. You can also see all of our expert contributors, over 80 show partners now that all are coming into the studio to help you win in any marketplace, helping you sort through a lot of the nonsense out there in the mainstream media and making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We're going to help you win. Around the horn here, introduced our all-star lineup today, Mr. John Grant, Eagled LED Lighting, also host of a show at on the evenings here, 7 p.m. to Sandlot Sports Talk. Welcome in.
Thanks, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. What's happening with you?
Just another great day in paradise. Gorgeous outside. Happy to come in here and work the show, man. Excited to be here.
On the telephone, man.
Yes. New toys. No, it's excited to be here and talk to everybody about LED lights. We were actually just talking about the lights here in the building not long ago, and working on these studios. But it's an ongoing epidemic, throughout the U.S. right now, where these facilities are catching on. Businesses are catching on to the amount of money that they can save, and not only just in power, but maintenance and AC costs and things like that. So we're rapidly growing and expanding, and just hit our 300th rep about
Nice.
3 weeks ago. So we're growing rapidly.
Congratulations on that. Yeah, Eagled LED Lighting. John Grant, he's the go-to for all things lighting and Eagled LED Lighting, a longtime friend of the program. More from John to come. Also, back in studio, Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist here, Home First Lending. Welcome in, sir.
Hey, Brandon, good to be here. The weather's been awesome lately. I finally actually started getting back out on the boat. I know you're always out there, Freedom Boat Club, so it's been good to kind of take a break. Real estate's been going crazy right now, so I've been really, really busy, and it's kind of what I'm going to talk about right now, the importance of getting pre-approved if you are looking. Homes are flying off the shelf right now, so it's real important to find out what you can afford and, have that letter ready as soon as you're ready to pull the trigger.
That's right. Yeah, making sure you're working with a professional that knows the market, understands the different types of loan programs, and more importantly, has access to the different types of loan programs. A lot of the basic banks, the big guys, we talk about them, the guys that took the bailout money, they're not going to have the flexibility, the programs, or even the know-how to be able to move in this rapidly changing market. And Mario Larrea, one of the best in the business here, and expert contributor on the Quarterback Show. Real excited about our hotel partner as well. We want to give a big shout out to Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora and beautiful St. Pete Beach. It's the first new hotel built on St. Pete Beach in decades. Spanish ancestry meets cool Mediterranean attitude. It's a whitewashed Mediterranean palace, beautiful pool, excellent staff, and the Castile restaurant is awesome. Rooftop yoga on the weekends. And say hello to the team over at the Hotel Zamora, our official hotel partner. Now, let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and you're going to get a 15 to 20% discount off your room stay. And you got to say hello to Paul also in the food and beverage. He's the Castile restaurant manager, and let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you as well. He's going to buy you a drink on the house as well. So Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora, our hotel partner, and real excited about a lot of the relationships we have here here in Tampa Bay. And ultimately, the number one goal is to help you win in any marketplace. We want to help you understand the market, and it's a fluid market. A lot of times, things are shifting. We talk to people that have literally lost $100,000 in certain situations. We've got 7 or 8 different types of attorneys with the show that can help you. We have a lot of flexibility, so no matter what you need, we want to be that turnkey resource. We want to be, I'm a longtime quarterback of my sports teams, USF football, and many others. But now, most importantly, what I'm more excited about is being able to quarterback transactions for our listeners, quarterback introductions to all of our expert contributors, and we want to help you win. So we got to have you engage. 813-670-7372. Save that number in your phone because at some point you may need it. And we always start off with a little personal development, a little motivation. And we got our quarterback there helping us with that audible. You're going to call that audible in life. And today what I want to talk to you about is entrepreneurial thinking versus corporate thinking. And about, and here's the thing. All people want to achieve the most amount of success in their career. They want to make the most amount of money and have advancement. And 80% of millionaires are entrepreneurs, according to Forbes. And and a lot of them started earning their money during their one lifetime. They started innovating, adding more value, growing a business in their one lifetime here. And so here's the 2 different schools of thought. You've got an entrepreneur or thinker who is going to think about the customers most of the time. A lot of business owners, business leaders, business managers, they're also going to think of themselves as the chief sales officer. They're going to think about sales most of the time. How can I increase revenue? What are the 80-20? Again, we talk a lot about Pareto's principle on this show. What are the 20% of activities that are going to attribute 80% of our success in revenue and growth? They use language like I, we, my team, my company. Instead of, on the opposite side of that, is going to be your corporate types who they're going to be viewing customers with disinterest or people who bring up problems and complain a lot. They're going to do minimum necessary things to avoid being fired. They are going to use the language difference again as them. They're going to say them, they, their to describe their company versus saying what the entrepreneur would say is my company, we, our team. And the entrepreneurs are also thinking of ways to constantly sharpen their saw. How can they grow their skills? How can they attract success and prosperity through the different functions that we've talked about before on the show as well? And also back to the corporate types. They're thinking, oh, well, it's a job. It's a job is a job. They think about work at the job, but when they go home, they don't think about work at all. And they have no loyalty or commitment. So that's a corporate type versus the entrepreneurial type. The entrepreneurial type is going to have ownership in the job. They're going to look to grow their skill base. They're going to look to add more value. They're going to look at customers as, how may I please you? How may I serve you, Mr. or Mrs. Customer? Kind of like my Ritz-Carlton days early in my career. That was a big lesson for me, is to understand how to serve our clients better. That's what we do with all of the Rhymes Media companies. Everything that we do here is we're going to be serving with white gloves. We're going to help you win in any marketplace. So let's go ahead and jump into this great content. John Grant, Eagle LED Lighting. Good to have you back in studio, man.
Wow.
You like that?
Yeah, bro.
That's good stuff, isn't it?
Should be $25-$50 to get in here for all that. That's good stuff, bro. Yeah, man. So, and kind of to everything in your point on that, one of the things that I notice the most, especially with what we do in LEDs, is some of these facility directors and these guys that are in the corporate side, right?
Yep.
Whether it be government, municipality, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
A lot of times they're just kind of hanging back and they don't really know what's out there like that
Yep.
could help them. And we come walking in the door and we sit down and show them how, look, you've got 300 of these high bays in here at 400 watts each, and you've got 100 parking lots out in your big giant parking lot for all your employees at 1,000 watts each that are on 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're a 24-hour facility, 3-shift facility.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be, $300,000 to change out all your lights.
Right.
But you're going to save $30,000 a month off your electric bill for the next, 8 years, 10 years.
And they're short-sighted a lot of times.
They're short-sighted up until that conversation, of course. The minute we roll those numbers out, I mean, you have to be in like outer space not to understand that that's good for you. So, I mean, I love that. I love everything that you just talked about, because I think that's one of the things that we're a big, proponent of out there is, look, you can make a difference here at your business. That you know, we're not usually dealing with executives or, you know, guys who are running a big giant Fortune 100 company. When you go out to Rooms to Go's 2 million square foot facility in, you know, Lakeland, you're not meeting with like the CEO or the vice president. You're meeting with the facility director.
Right.
You know, and once we get those guys to understand, you know, the types of influence changing out their lights it's a world of difference. And, you know, I think that's, you know, in line with, you know, just every business out there.
Yeah,
you know,
sure
like
is.
everybody should be looking for the ability to find ways to trim expenses, to improve production. And I think with LED lights, we bring that, you know, that ability. We bring the ability to improve the overall demeanor and effect of what goes on in your business, but it saves you a ton of money on the energy side.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking for those entrepreneurial managers, those thinkers out there who are thought
Think
leaders.
outside the box.
That's right. Think outside the box. Look at ways that you can improve the efficiencies in your business, in your LED lighting. Lots of ways that we're going to help you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show coming up as well. Mario Larrea, we're going to talk about the importance of getting pre-approved in today's market, a fluid market here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to update you on things happening with the Federal Reserve and more to come on the other side of the break. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show. Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent in Tampa Bay, featured in Florida Realtor Magazine, Top Agent Magazine, the Tampa Bay Business Journal, and others, recognized for innovation with marketing, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties, utilizing some innovative strategies with our radio and TV show, WeBeam TV, and multiple ways that we also syndicate and repurpose content on Facebook, Google, like no other companies are doing. Reach out if you'd like to find out how you can maximize the exposure on the sale and profit more on your real estate, as well as at our consumer advocate hotline at 813-670-7372. That is our consumer advocate hotline. You can call or text that number. 813-670-7372. Every week, every day, we're getting calls, different connections, making connections with our listeners out there, our viewers of our TV show, with all of our expert contributors. So we really appreciate you engaging and a lot of the kind words that you say when we do talk on the phone from time to time, as well as the email submissions at the consumerqb.com. Just submit the form by hitting the contact form and submit that form directly to us, and my producers and my team will get right back with you. Giving a big shout out to Felicia Lacaille, Healthy Gourmet, delicious meal delivery program here. Meal plan starting at $90 a week. Optimal fuel, optimal performance. Felicia Lacaille, longtime friend of the program here. Healthy Gourmet, organic veggies, all natural proteins, delivered fresh 3 times a week by Healthy Gourmet. I love it. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I get my new food delivered, and it's just awesome. It's a blessing to have that service, and I warm it up on the stovetop. I don't use the microwave as much anymore since I've heard from my friend Jarek Robbins some of the recent studies about microwaves. But, you know, what else do you have in this world if you don't have your health? Felicia Lacaille, Healthy Gourmet, an awesome partner of the show. Awesome meals that she puts together. Very tasty. And it's also a convenience factor. I put it in my vehicle as I'm running appointments out there, and I'm not running through those fast food restaurants like I used to do. So back here in studio, we're going to help you win in any marketplace. Consumer Quarterback Show. 2606 North Valrico Road in Seffner is a hot listing from Platinum. This is $1.79 million. It's 84 acres, 2606 North Valrico Road in Seffner. A residential development opportunity, 84 acres, zoned ARG-PD. So reach out. Builders, entrepreneurs, developers, we'd love to talk to you about that property. And we have one right around the corner as well, 11515 East Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. It's another beautiful listing right around the corner, close proximity to I-75, and 2 vacant land development opportunities for any builders, developers, entrepreneurs out there. Reach out to our hotline. We want to help you win. All right, John Grant, Eagled LED Lighting in studio, as well as Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist with Home First Lending. And let's go back to John here and talk a little bit more about some of the efficiencies, some of the tax breaks, a lot of the ways that people are utilizing LED lighting in their businesses or home.
Yeah, a lot of the tax incentives are gone.
Okay.
So the EPA 179D that existed, for a period of time, I had the same thing. I don't know if it's going to come back, but at one point or another, it did expire years ago, and it was, reinstated. So we'll kind of sit around and wait for that, but there still are rebates.
Okay.
So all your big guys, are still in it. Even here locally, Tico, up and through, the Carolinas with Duke and, Tennessee Valley up through there, and, even going all the way out west to like Pacific Gas and Lights. And, they're all federally incentivized. The individual power companies actually pull the trigger as far as what the rebates are, but they're all pretty similar. They could vary anywhere from 40% to 80% of your, total rehab or, total LED project cost, if you will. And I think that that's a big point for people to understand that that's today. That is something that's going to change. They will pull those rebates at some point or another. They're going to reach their ceiling or their cap. So it's a good time if you're remotely thinking about it. If you're one of these facility managers or engineers, and you've got a facility, regardless if it's 10,000 square feet or 10 million square feet, you definitely are sitting on a ton of rebates that are there that eventually you're going to change your lights anyway.
Right.
You're going to have to at some point or another because everything's going that direction. They're phasing out certain types of ballasted products. So even if you don't have to change out your lights, you have to change out your hardware. And if you're going to spend that kind of money, you get the LEDs in there, you eliminate the heat.
Yep.
You know, we talk about these 300 degrees each.
Yep.
There's no heat with an LED.
I want to ask you something. I want to go back to, and I know it's a different sector, but I know it's one of the things because we've had different solar providers on the show. We've talked about solar, and I know it's not your expertise area, but with solar, what you see is it varies from state to state significantly. For example, I think we joked about in the past, like New Jersey was way more solar infiltration, so to speak, than Florida does. For example, the Sunshine State. And now, do you see that in your industry as well with the LED lighting, the rebates you kind of talked about?
Oh, yeah.
It varies significantly, doesn't it?
Very major significance based on where it is. You know, there's parts of down in Dade County where the kilowatt per hour is 30 plus cents a kilowatt. You know, here it's like 10, 11 as an average.
Wow.
So, yeah, there's definitely a huge difference in the rebates that are being offered because, again, as a power company, if you know you only can produce so much power.
Yeah.
So during your peak times and so on and so forth, you're constantly buying power from, you know, the black market, really, in theory, and you're paying a lot more for that power than what you're actually charging your customers.
Interesting.
So they're constantly trying to find ways to reduce the energy usage too. And it's not just LED lights. I mean, God, there's incentives for solar. There's incentives for change out your heat pumps, change out your chillers, change out. So LED lights is just another avenue of it. And it's just amazing to me how many people don't really understand that any of that exists. They don't understand that there's rebates, that there's incentives, that there's somebody out there willing to help them pay and save all this great money at their facility.
Yeah, and if you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with John Grant with Eagle LED Lighting. If you're a manager out there, an owner, someone who wants to at least, you know, kind of raise your hand and say hello about this, talk to John, consultations free, reach out to our hotline, 813-670-7372. Our hotline is 670-REQB. And John, let's go ahead and bring Mario into the conversation because I think there might be some crossover here, Mario. We always talk about the lending. I want to find out where we're at with rates and what's happening with the Fed. But I think in this persistence here, we're looking at an opportunity to potentially with the 203K. Can they do a 203K loan, those renovation loans, and bring in LEDs?
Yeah, that's definitely possible. You can, with 203K, I mean, you can pretty much improve anything that you want. So that is something that you could definitely look into. I haven't actually done one with new lighting and stuff like that, but there's no reason you couldn't do it.
Yeah, and are there also rebates when it comes to putting in these for a homeowner? I realize there might be business.
Yeah, there's going to be some rebates that exist. They're obviously a lot more minuscule because the average usage in a home is significantly less. Just like there's going to be different rebates for a facility that maybe uses 50,000, kilowatts a month versus, 500,000 kilowatts a month. And at your house, you might be using 300 or 100, so there's definitely going to be rebates and incentives that, that exist for the homeowner. But let's be honest. If you're going to improve your home, if you're going to take a 203K or whatever you call it, I'm going to just act like I know what y'all are talking about. You're going to take out the 203K. If you're going to do that, then why wouldn't you put LED lights? To Mario's point, that'd be Mario saying to somebody like, look, are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
Like if you're going to spend money to put in this pool, you put in LED lights in the pool. You trim it out with, some strip lighting and you accent it and you do the things that look like you've spent so much more money and that bring out the value of your home. Because I assume, Mario, and tell me if I'm wrong, but when you're doing those kinds of loans and, people are improving their homestead or whatever it is, the concept is to increase the value of the property, not just to improve the lighting.
That's probably the main concern. But the other concern too is you're going to live there, so you may as well have it look as good as possible,
Right. Don't do it because you're going to get, a few dollar savings on your energy bill, although that is a great thing. In this world with LED lights, the quality is so much better. It eliminates headaches. It eliminates shadows, dark spots. There's so many studies. It keeps coming up to speed. Now they're calling that 5,000, 6,000 Kelvin, which is the more whiter light that people don't understand. Like, why is LEDs? Because that's considered true color.
Wow.
And it's a new study that they're saying true color It eliminates those headaches. It makes things obviously show what they really are, which eliminates strain on your eyes, and so on and so forth, which is technically the same spectrum of light as the sun.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. A lot of good things to come here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to dive deeper with Mario on a lot of things happening in the mortgage space. It's a lot of uncertainty right now. We've got these geopolitical things happening out there, North Korea, what's happening in the Middle East, and we're going to talk about how that might affect the mortgage market, how it's going to affect you and your internal, because there's the economy out there, but then there's the economy in between your own ears. That's the one we're going to help you with, and we want to help you understand these types of concerns, things to look for, things to avoid, and more of our expert contributors here helping you avoid a lot of the nonsense out there, a lot of the commission breath that's so prevalent in our community. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and Rhymes Media Group, helping you win on digital marketing as well, helping you understand how to beat your competition online. A lot of things happening. We've got a event coming up as well on the 25th. Over at the Hotel Zamora, our hotel partner. We're having a nice event over there, digital marketing seminar and business growth seminar as well. So we're doing that at 3 to 5:30, and then we're taking it up to the rooftop for the Rooftop 360 Lounge, a nice happy hour up top. And by the way, the Hotel Zamora is voted top three rooftops on the eastern seaboard of the United States. just recently. So real excited about that event coming up. Giving a big shout out as well to Hula Bay, which is our official restaurant partner right here in South Tampa, right on 5210 Tyson Avenue in beautiful South Tampa here. Hula Bay, our official restaurant partner. Now, Todd is the general manager over there. Excellent staff, waterfront ambiance, and the best sushi in all of Tampa Bay. The tuna is shipped in fresh from Hawaii every 2 days, and they've got a wide variety on the menu. They've got awesome entertainment and bands on the weekends down at Duke's Surfer Bar, the retired Surfer Bar, and a great place to be. So go check out Hula Bay. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you for a free water with lemon. He's going to hook you up. Enjoy the beautiful sunshine. All right, back in studio here. We've got John Grant, Eagle LED Lighting, as well as Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist with Home First Lending. We're going to talk about mortgage market, things happening with the Federal Reserve, and where we see potentially mortgage rates going. Before we do, I've got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about. I got 701 East Crenshaw Street here in Tampa. This one just hit the market. This is fully renovated and a staged, beautiful property. It looks like a model home on the inside. My friend Roberto had done a great job on this renovation here. It's $269,000, 701 East Crenshaw Street in Tampa. It's in the Harmony Heights, 3-bedroom, 2-bath property. Just hit the MLS last week, so it's a great property. We also have Zero Rue de Lacs. It's a vacant land opportunity to build in a great subdivision. Chateau de Lacs is the subdivision. It's $299,000, 1.13 acres, MOL, and it's a great opportunity to build. Now, if you build two stories up, you'll be able to have a nice view of Lake Tarpon. It's right across the street from Lake Tarpon. So a couple of hot listings here from Platinum MVP Realty. All right, let's go back to business here. We're talking with Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist here in Tampa Bay. And Mario, what are you seeing out there?
Well, the market's been picking up a lot, and I've kind of noticed it with people that I get pre-approved, especially from the 150 to 300 range, where that's really the bulk of the business that's going through. I've seen a lot of people here recently that have had trouble actually finding homes, and when they do, there's multiple offers, there's bidding wars. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you're seeing this too.
Right. Yeah. The multiple offers. I mean, we've been fighting low inventory for how long can you remember back now?
Yeah, and what's crazy? I was looking at it. In the Tampa Bay area, we've increased 15% in value.
Yep.
However, we've actually have 1% less listings and 13% more sales from February of this year as opposed to February of last, which is crazy. Wow. I mean, they're just flying off the market. It's a great time to list too, because your home's not going to sit there very long. I think they were saying the average time's about 30 days in that price point. So, I'm sure you're seeing it too, but, the reason I'm going over this is a lot of times I'll speak to people, they'll kind of want to get some information, but they won't actually go through with the pre-approval. Right. Problem is these properties are going so quickly. If you don't walk in with the pre-approval in hand and make an offer, I mean, somebody could offer the same exact thing as you. They have a pre-approval, you don't, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, or you could even offer more, and they're going to go with the other offer. And there's ways to get creative on the offer as well. From a real estate side, from a real estate perspective, I got an expert buyer team with me at Platinum MVP Realty as well. Great team over there, and we talk about the competition level, and you just talked about the lack of inventory, the scarcity of good quality homes, and what happens is when you go to put the offer in, you've got to figure out a way to differentiate yourself from the other people that are offering. So you can do that through a couple different ways. You can put together a nice creative letter that's going to talk about your family and try to have an emotional connection with the seller. You could also do a video. I've heard of videos being done as well.
Wow.
And utilize videos to
that blows me away. I'm blown away right now. What? To buy a house?
Yep.
Please.
You're in competition. That's what happens,
Mario.
Mario.
Buy a more expensive house.
Yeah. Well, Mario, when it comes to that, though, when it comes to a pre-approval, talk about that process a little bit. What scares people away from that?
I think a lot of people just right up front don't want to have their credit pulled because they're concerned about the points dropping. I mean, realistically, with mortgages, they don't drop that much when you pull your credit, maybe a few points. It's a lot different than like credit cards, store credit, stuff like that. Those actually impact your scores significantly because the difference is you're looking for a place to live here. You're not seeking money like with a credit card, I mean, I could just get a credit card and just go blow it. But this is actually something where you're looking for a place to live. So that's one of the big pushbacks that I get, and it's really not founded. I mean, the other thing too is you're going to be wasting a lot of time if you don't do it. If you're ready to look, get pre-approved. The other thing too is you may not be at the point right then where you can fully get approved. But if I look at it, I can tell you, a few things to do. I mean, I get this all the time. People with lower credit scores, they have a little bit of issues. They think it's unsurmountable, but it's really not that big of a deal to get some people into a position to buy. And if they do what I tell them to, I mean, I've had numerous people come back to me 5-6 months later and couldn't purchase before. Now they can.
Yeah, and we also have William Crawley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician, on our team here. It's part of our lineup, the Credit Magician. He can help you with credit improvement, no matter where your scores are at. It's good to, first of all, you want to understand, okay, where are my scores? Because as we know, identity theft is rampant. We've seen, Target, JP Morgan Chase, the federal government. There's a lot of different companies that have been hacked recently. And that when you look at that side of the coin, Mario, people might come to you and say, oh, yeah, I've got great credit. I'm in the 700s, a little bit cocky, right? They come in, they sit down, and all of a sudden, whoa, what's this? I didn't see that, and I had no idea about this. Now they're looking at low 600s or worse.
Yeah, I mean, and that happens. I remember a few years back, this is kind of horrible, but I was talking to a husband, and he wanted to get pre-approved, and I pulled his credit, and he had like $70,000 in credit card debt, an additional line of credit tied to his house that his wife did without him knowing. Ooh. Which that's a little bit different situation, but it just goes to show you never know what's actually on there. Sometimes things are reporting.
Divorce attorney?
Yeah. I'm sure he probably went looking for one shortly after.
Yeah, that'd been my next call.
I didn't hear it from him again. But I mean, there's a lot of times that I see people that there's stuff reporting inaccurate. So, unless you check, you don't know. And then the other thing too is, talk to somebody local. Talk to a broker that's known locally. Give me a call if you're in the area, because if you bring one of my pre-approvals to the table against, one of those internet-based companies that people don't know of, they're going to go with the local person that has a reputation here locally.
Yeah, absolutely. Shop local, work with local companies. That's what we really love about our show as well, as we've got 80 show partners, CPAs, financial advisors, great mortgage partner, and legal advice, 7 or 8 different categories of legal. And it's all local companies. By supporting the Quarterback Show, you're supporting local companies. You're supporting your local economy. You're supporting local nonprofits. You're also supporting local baseball leagues. John's very heavy in the baseball and football and all that good stuff, but that's a big point. And it's another great point is that when you have that pre-approval letter in place from Mario Larrea here with Home First Lending, it's going to give you that bargaining power over a lot of the other companies. So go ahead, Mario. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, it's just like you said, you're in a competition to get the house if you want it. There's a lot of other people. I mean, I had somebody last month that I pre-approved. I called him a few days later just to touch base to see how everything went. He found a house the next day that he wanted. By the time he put an offer in, there was already 8 offers on the table.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's crazy right now. So, you want to do as much as you can to win that offer if you're going to make it.
Yeah, differentiation is very key in this marketplace. There's a lack of inventory. So if you're a seller on the fence thinking about selling, if you're a buyer thinking about getting pre-approved, if you've even considered LED lighting, let's go ahead and give you an opportunity to raise your hand and say, hey, reach out to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll set you up with either a free comparable market analysis. Mario can go through either a
get you that 230K.
Yeah, the 203K.
203K.
So reach out to our hotline, and we just want to help you. We want to engage you. 813-670-7372. That's our hotline, 670-REQB. That's a Tampa-based number, and we want to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. Give you that helicopter view of the market and help you understand what these decisions are. We have a QAA formula with this show. You're going to have questions. We're going to provide you answers, but we want to take it a step further. We want to give you these action items on ways that you can be proactive. That's a recurring theme with this show, whether it's Sean Yesner talking about debt, Crushing Debt podcast. being proactive with what you're looking at and having that foresight to understand the market. Whether you're looking to invest money, you want to think about a fiduciary. Do you have a fiduciary as a so-called wealth advisor? A lot of things to consider. And when we come back, we're going to go over the top 10 things Americans wasted money on in 2016. How you like that one, John? That'll be fun, right?
I'm still waiting to ask him once we unify Korea and make it our 51st state. How's that going to affect the lending world?
Yeah, how's that going to affect the lending? All right, stay with us. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, just
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, plugging our sponsors here. Big shout out to Hannah and her team over at Smart Move Moving and Storage. They do a great job on local moves here in the Tampa Bay market. Say hello to Hannah and her team at Smart Move Moving and Storage, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, for security, we're talking about Honeywell Technology, Robert Hessel at Source One Solutions. They do a great job on the home and business protection with Honeywell technology, protecting your assets. Source One Solutions, Robert Hessel and his team. I want to remind you, all of our expert contributors are listed on our website, consumerqb.com. Just click on the expert contributors tab and you can see all of our expert contributors, contact information, website information. You can also click the contact form and submit an email directly to me. My promise is to get back to you before my head hits the pillow. We're going to help you win in any marketplace, making you more street smart out there, acting as your super connector as well here in Tampa Bay. A couple of hot listings I want to let you know about. Attention builders, developers. This is vacant land here at 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo. Commercial opportunity, 200 feet of frontage within the city of Largo, listed at $460,000. Corner vacant land, parcel of land, and also another single-family home here, two-story pool home at 7657 132nd Way in Seminole. A great opportunity here in Whispering Forest in Pinellas County. 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, $420,000. Great opportunity here, over 3,200 square feet in this beautiful property in lovely Tampa Bay. Somewhere sunny and 75. Coming up, the top 10 things Americans wasted monies on 2016, according to DaveRamsey.com, and more from our expert contributors. So in studio here, I've got John Grant, Eagle LED Lighting, Mario Larrea, he's a mortgage specialist with Home First Lending. And Mario, what else are you seeing out there? We kind of talk about the overall market and things happening, and then John mentioned that North Korea might be that 51st state. So where do you want to take it from there?
That's conversation.
I don't exactly know how that's going to work out, but yeah, I mean, they're saying they're going to go up. So I mean, anytime there is there's unrest or something like that, the rates tend to go down. So if we settle that down and things are a little bit more calm, there's probably going to lend to them increasing, like everybody's thinking anyway.
Right. So the nugget of advice is just reach out, get locked in as soon as possible then.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good time to buy. Just like I was saying, housing prices in the area, they've gone up 15%. So, it's a great time to list your home, great time to buy. Your home's going to appreciate right now. Rates are still low, so you can afford a little bit more house than you're going to be able to down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great time to be proactive, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and jump into this top 10. Okay, so we got the top 10 things Americans wasted money on. Are you wasting money? Let's find out, according to DaveRamsey.com. So let's go around the horn here. John, you want to take a stab at this? Take a guess here. We got a top 10 list. Let's have some fun.
I'm not telling on myself. No way. That's all perspective. So
Okay.
what could be number one could be what I think is great.
Yeah, there you go.
How do you judge a waste?
Yeah, like what's a waste? Like
All right,
water?
let's look at. All right, so number 10, it says shipping charges. Don't be so desperate to get the pair of boots or new tablet. Pay extra online to have it shipped overnight. Wait 14 days.
No way.
So he's saying shipping. All right, number 9 is timeshares.
Okay.
So the old real estate. I
agree
think
with
that's
that.
kind of a. That's one of those things you got to go sit for the buffet lunch and then you do the timeshare pitch. I guess
it's the actually investing in it where it's a waste. So you'll tell them that as a real estate guy, like, come on.
That's right. Yep. We've seen that. We've heard about that. I've never actually sat through one of these, but I think that's what they do. Number 8, lottery tickets. The biggest one of the top 10 waste is lottery tickets. You do lotto? You buy lotto?
It's entertainment.
Yeah.
When it gets up to like big numbers, isn't it fun to sit up at 11:16 and see if you just like hit it?
Yeah.
And if not, you go to bed, and then nothing changed.
Yeah. And when what Dave's talking about here on this list is it's kind of, some people call it another poor tax. The folks, the poor tax, they go out and they buy that lotto ticket. They have that dream that they're going to win it. And
they've been running the numbers since the 20s.
You feel like a millionaire for 15 minutes, yeah. The other thing is, I've heard some studies or stats on one of the books I've read recently, Audible. I love Audible. I listen to books on tape a lot. But what they talk about is that, you see that one lotto winner that stands up and gives a 30-second commercial. Oh, I won the lotto. I won this much money. But they said there was a study that was done. If you were to add up all of the losers and had them go on TV and do their, hey, I lost the lotto, I played and I lost the lotto, it would literally run for a week on air from all the losers. Yeah, nonstop. So, lottery tickets, definitely not the way to go. All right, number 7 on the list is car wash upgrades. So we're talking about the top 10 things Americans wasted money on in 2016. Car leases. They're saying car leases.
Who did this list?
This is Dave.
Dave Ramsey?
Yeah. All right, so car leases. Think about this one. So when you have car lease payments, he's talking about renting that vehicle, see, and that's something that because you hear pros and cons about these things, right?
Yeah.
That's something I've always kind of grown up. My parents kind of said, hey, you buy your car, you buy it maybe a year or two old, you let the previous owner eat that depreciation, and now you pay it off, and you've got a vehicle that you can drive that's paid off. Thoughts?
Then you're walking into somebody else's potential issues. I don't know how you drive your vehicle.
Well,
I don't know what you do to it.
I always get tired of vehicles after about 3 or 4 years anyway. So,
Yeah.
So you like the lease? So you're a proponent of the lease?
I've only leased once. Normally I would buy, but I mean, basically, I'm still financing, so I'm almost renting at the end of the day. I mean, you have a little bit of equity when you go in.
I can't lease. I got 4 kids. They ding into it, smash it up, bring it back. I owe like a fortune to fix it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so then we talked about car leases, number 6. Number 5, he's saying car payments. So how do you win on this one?
You walk.
Yeah.
Way to go, Dave.
Well, what he's saying is you want to buy with cash, and that way you're not leveraging.
Because it's Dave. You got cash laying around. Do it.
Yeah, that's right. All right, number 4, daily coffee trips. Everybody's going to pick on the Starbucks here.
I don't drink coffee, so
Me neither.
I could care less.
My wife does. They're like $10 a cup of coffee.
That's
Or something. It's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, gym memberships. That Q1's gone. Everybody had their New Year's resolutions. They're going to the gym. Where are we at now? We just rolled into May.
I gave up the gym 20 years ago when I got out the military.
Yeah, but you're active on the weekends with the kids. You're doing a lot of baseball
with my
stuff.
mouth.
Yeah, with your mouth.
Go
Coaching the kids.
Yes.
What about you get you hit baseball practice?
Yeah. I'll deal at them sometimes, throw a couple hundred, but that's it.
All right, and then so gym memberships, it's a waste unless you're using it, in my opinion. And then number 2 is smartphone apps. There's the silent killer. You hand your kid.
That's not
phone.
adults. That's the kids.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's see. Well, we did what was the one app everybody was going crazy about before?
Angry Bird.
Yeah, Angry Birds, and the one where they walk around outside. Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah. Do the people still play that?
I don't know. I haven't seen it much. All right. So number 1, according to Dave Ramsey, student loans. Student loans. Graduates of 2016 will pay back more than $35,000 each, according to the Wall Street Journal. So don't take buy now, pay later approach to schooling. Go to a university you can afford, apply for scholarships, work throughout the year. Is it tough to graduate debt-free? Sure. Give it the old college try.
Or when your kid is in like 5th or 6th grade, you get them serious about school so that come time when they graduate, you get that academic scholarship. Or in my case, I got 2 boys that are going to get half athletic, half academic.
Yeah.
It's crazy, too, with the student loans. There's a lot of people that I try to pre-approve, and student loans throw their debt ratio off. So,
wow.
There's a lot that they could qualify for a little bit more if they didn't have them, or they just don't qualify.
Yeah, but get that education.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump into our lightning round. Top tips, things to do, things to avoid, nuggets of advice, John Grant.
Call us. We'll hook you up. No, seriously. I mean, it's just we're talking about the LED revolution. I'm going to focus more on the business side, commercial, all you facility guys. Like I said, don't wait. The rebates are going to go away. We can probably pick you up, anywhere from 30 to 80% of the total cost, and put you in a position where not only is your ROI under a year, but your lifetime savings will be 10, 15 fold of what you put into it.
And it's not all out of pocket, is it? You can finance some of this, right?
We finance it so it cash flows.
Good.
So whatever you're going to pay is going to be a heck of a lot less than what you're going to save per month in energy. So
excellent. Mario Larrea, Home First Lending. Top tips, things to do, things to avoid.
If you're serious about buying right now and you don't have cash, get pre-approved. Mm-hmm. Give me a call. It's a 5 to 10 minute conversation. I can get you pre-approved over the phone in most cases. You don't want to be out there wasting time looking at houses, driving around, making offers, and nobody accepting them. If you're going to be looking, be ready.
Yeah. Make sure you're proactive. That's the goal of the show, is to help you think about these things that you might not necessarily consider. And being proactive is a key. It's a recurring theme here on the show. We talk about it every week, and we want to make sure you're connected to our expert contributors. We want you to think of this show as the hub of your financial wheel, each spoke extending out, representing another one of our preferred partners, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida that we've assembled, we've vetted, we bring on the air to act as a consumer advocate and serve you. So we want you reaching out. Again, our hotline hotline number 670-7372. That's a Tampa area code 813-670-REQB is our consumer advocate hotline. Submit the form at consumerqb.com, as well as we always end the show with, thank you to all of our expert contributors, our folks behind the scenes, of course, our listeners and viewers. But we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Something as simple as packing up leftover food, carrying it with you to and from your commute to work, handing it to that person that you see on the side of the road that might be in need, maybe even buying an extra sandwich if you're through the line there. Grab an extra sandwich, hand it to that person that you see. Be a force for good in the community. Go out there and volunteer. Get involved with your church or volunteer organization and be a force for good in the community. We greatly appreciate you listening to the show, and we'll see you right here, same time and place tomorrow. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live.